Hey friends, welcome to Chine Coaching. Rob here. In this video, we've got our friend, Professor Gaurav Shekhar, who's going to talk about branding and building your brand, how to really define and sell yourself here in America, especially in your career path. Grab some chai and join us. He himself was a former international student now who works teaching and helping international students to succeed here in America, and his advice is going to be amazing. He's got so much experience. And so Gaurav, please introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, and thank you for the invitation.
Oh yeah, cheers.
My name is Gaurav Shekhar, and I'm a professor here in the UT Dallas School of Management. I'm also the program manager for the Masters in Information Technology and Management program, and I'm an alum of the same program.
So yeah, if you have any questions on those kind of things, this is the guy. And then where are you from in India?
I'm from New Delhi. You know, this city with the clearest air.
Yes.
No, but
clear as mud.
Yeah, but you know what? Delhi has been a very integral part of my life. It's a great place, and if anyone of you have been to Delhi, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah,
you know,
rich.
You got the best food out there, and
Yes.
I have no offense to people from other parts of India. You know what? One thing I always feel that as Indians, we always talk about how our city has a better cuisine. But I feel as a whole, India is a rich country when it comes to cuisines, when it comes to history, culture. I mean, it's a rich country. And all of you who are from India and who are here in the United States, you're all ambassadors. You're cultural ambassadors, and you're people who are holding the baton to show the world that India is a great place. So thank you for doing that.
Us Americans, we want to learn and experience that culture. So
and likewise.
please share that. And so, Gaurav, you know, you've learned so much being an international student yourself and now being on the other side helping them. Why is this idea of branding and building a personal brand so important here in America?
That's a great question, and again, I'll try to keep it short, but I feel that as an international student, when you come to the United States, there are a lot of things that change in your life. It's a life-changing moment. You know, it's not about going to another institution to get your higher education or your master's degree, but you are leaving the way of you're leaving your lifestyle back home to come to a new place, to a new territory that you have no clue about. You're trying to leave the ways of working, you're trying to leave the ways of living as an individual, and you're starting everything from scratch. It's not about how strong you're financially to do that. That's never the case there, but you're changing your life. So it's a big step when you come to the United States. Now the big question is, why did you come to United States? What brought you to United States? Or let me rephrase it, what brought you outside your home? And that is a big decision, not only for yourself, but also for your family. You know, your family, your friends, everything changes. You know, you find new friends here in the US, you have new connections, you build your network, you find a new family altogether. I mean, I'm not saying that leave the ones that you have, but it is a life-changing moment. So when everything around you is changing, professionally and personally, it is somewhere a responsibility that you stand out as a brand, rather than just another person who's becoming part of the average student body or the average workforce here. Because you are very different in terms of what steps you took to come here and pursue your degree. So, I mean, this is a funny way of putting this.
Okay.
You know, a lot of times we see that students get frustrated because they send messages to recruiters on LinkedIn. And do not stop that. That's a good way of doing that, because again, cold calling is another way of reaching out to people. How will people know about you if you don't reach out to them? So don't stop doing that. But the frustration about them not responding. You know, think about this. You all have WhatsApp. Do you respond to every message the minute you get it? And ever since you have come to the US, just think about your first and the second circle people who used to interact with you all the time. They are still sending you messages the same way. But has your response got delayed with time? Because see, you have a busy life here, and then that is understandable. So put that into perspective, that somebody who has a relationship with you, you're not responding to them immediately, or maybe, you know, in the next couple days. How do you expect somebody who has no relationship with you to respond back immediately, or maybe in the next few days? And recruiters, they get like 700-800 messages all the time. I mean, 50 to 60 messages. One of my friends who was a recruiter here for Southwest, he tells me that he gets about 60 messages daily.
Wow.
And people that he doesn't know, he connects with them, because another great thing is, and leverage this power, when you post about what you're doing, it pops up in their feeds. And LinkedIn has a great algorithm to make your work look presented to not only your connections, but your connection of your connections to almost the fourth degree.
Yeah.
And that kind of visibility is what you need. I mean, I recently was asked to speak at an innovation summit on robotic process automation. This is going to happen at UT Dallas, and we've got a premium line of sponsors. And that happened because very recently I posted an article about how we are trying to engage a company called Appian and bringing RPA into the classrooms. That's the intention. I mean, we don't have the whole plan yet, but come fall, that might be a possibility. And that popped up into a third connection of somebody who reached out to me the next day asking, you're doing RPA at UTD, I'd like you to speak.
Wow.
So you guys, when you are having your own posts about stuff that you're doing, they get published on walls of people who don't even know you, who you are.
Building your brand.
That's building your brand because they know what you're doing. And again, a lot of times we talk about how recruiters look at LinkedIn and check what you've been doing. You know, when you post about the different trainings you're doing or different certifications you're doing, you are not only curating your brand, but at the same time, you're letting them know that you're doing intelligent things. You're doing things that matter to the industry.
You're working hard.
You're working hard and you're working on cutting edge stuff. You know, sometimes the question comes in, oh, I'm just doing an online course. Does it really matter? It does matter because if I'm a recruiter, I would look at as additional effort that you are putting in upskilling yourself. You're investing the time outside of your classes, outside of what you're doing at the university. So that's a great thing.
And equally with the technical skills, also develop the relationship skills.
Absolutely.
Go to the meetups, go to networking mixers, talk to Americans, and equally develop both those sides so that you'll be strong with technical and relational skills.
Absolutely.
And real quick, our chai question for this video is, what kind of brand do you want to create here in America? Leave a comment below. As we've been talking about branding, Gaurav said some great things. What kind of brand do you want to be known for? What is your unique value proposition? You know, how are you going to stand out in all the competition? So let's share and discuss and get some good ideas. And Gaurav, this has been so good. I want to kind of wrap up with this question. What's maybe the biggest lesson learned or mistake that you've had in your journey here in America as you've been trying to build your brand?
I don't want to embarrass myself. Well, again, not every time I tried something, it was a hit. There are a lot of misses. You know, and remember, people see every time that you're successful, every time you hit it, but there are a lot of misses that go behind one single hit. You know, this is something that you guys might have heard a lot of times. When Thomas Edison was asked that, did you fail 10,000 times to create the bulb? He said, no, I learned 9,999 ways it cannot work. So again, for me, some of my challenges have been, and something that I learned from was not really doing some of the things early on. For example, I mean, I corrected it as in the course as a student, but things that I talk to students almost on a daily basis about networking, about going out. I mean, my first couple semesters, I was a student who was doing a lot of stuff on campus, but I was not doing much outside of the campus.
And that's where the Americans are. That's where the professionals are.
That's where professionals are, but I'll tell you, one of the things that helped me immensely was my association with Toastmasters.
Oh, yeah.
And I was an average member of the organization. Right now, I am the leader, the district director for Northeastern Texas, that's a district. But that happened over a course of time, you know, the engagement that was there. And even though it was not about a job, it was never about a job with Toastmasters. It was all about public speaking and leadership. And that's a critical skill. That's a life skill. You know, if you think that you can get into a class and just learn about public speaking and just leave it and you'll be good, you know, this is a challenge to you. Think of something you're great at and don't do it for 2 months. And then come back and try doing it. You will feel the jitters. So public speaking is a great skill to have. It's a life skill, and people love how you present things out to them rather than how much you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel that for me, the whole idea of not going out and connecting with people early on was something that kind of it could have had different results. I could have gotten things done sooner. But then at one point of time, I used to be very heavily engaged in UT Dallas. I was part of the Dean's Council, the student government, ISA, started a couple of Toastmasters clubs here. I was also leading Toastmasters in Richardson and was continuously doing something or the other to keep me engaged. End of my degree, one thing that I was not panicky about, though I mean, I don't openly say it, but yes, everybody thinks about getting a job, and that was my concern as well. But somewhere I was kind of settled because all the work that went into in the degree for about 18 months, I knew it would work. But I also feel that there were certain things, crucial things like reaching out to people outside, that if only I had done it a little earlier, I could have gotten the results sooner. The results will happen, guys. This is one tip. Everything will fall in place. If you're looking for an internship, you will get one. You're looking for a job, you'll get one. You're aiming that promotion, you'll get it. The idea is when you're trying to engage, you have to project what value you're bringing to people. People care about the value you bring to the table rather than the fact that, this is something I want to do because it'll help me eventually. Somewhere or the other, the motives come out. Sometimes go to a networking event and just don't talk about jobs. Sometimes make a friend, have a conversation, without any intention, or just because you want to have a conversation with people.
And see what you can learn too.
Absolutely. You know what, one of the good ways? Go to the other side of Plinth. And there are some student orgs. There's a theater out there. Have you checked out the theater? You will meet some wonderful people out there in the theater. Again, UT Dallas is what you make it for yourself. America is what you make out of it. Okay, you can be the same person you were before coming to the US and just an Americanized version of your Indian self, or you could be a totally new brand that people derive value from.
Yeah, I love how Toastmasters and all those extra things, those developed communication skills, they developed leadership, and that helped create a new, better brand for you, which then people see that value.
I'll be honest about this. I mean, Touchwood, Toastmasters has been good. And in my journey here at UT Dallas, in fact, becoming a full-time employee of the place, at every step I could see it being a factor why I got into that. When I started teaching here, one of the reasons I started teaching was because I used to do that in Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And understanding the value of being in a classroom and teaching and speaking in front of people, and all the fulfillment it gave could not have happened if I was not doing it.
Yeah.
So,
and you built that foundation to be positioned for when that opportunity came.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys, this has been awesome. I've learned so much. Gaurav, thank you. This video has been helpful. Give a big thumbs up to say thanks to Professor Shekhar here. And yeah, wow, I'm still soaking all this good stuff in. Hopefully you guys can be thinking about this brand. Remember, comment below, what kind of brand do you want to create and build here in America? And let's share some ideas with each other. And don't forget to subscribe to Chai and Coaching, because we really want to help you guys succeed here in America, and building that brand is a very integral, important part of that. And Connect with us online. Professor Gaurav here is going to be a great resource for you guys too, especially with his department and his fields of study. And so yeah, let's continue this conversation. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time at Chai and Coaching. Cheers.